Hey, what's happening? My name is Caleb with Catalyst. This is the Catalyst Screen Printing 101 video. Today we're going to talk about the screen mesh, inks to use, ways to build your own screen printing setups, and all the other fun stuff that comes with screen printing. So, first thing we're going to talk about is the screen mesh and the screens to use for screen printing. As you can see here, this is one of our larger frames. The yellow material is an actual mesh. It's similar to your screens on your windows. It's a very, very fine mesh that allows water or ink, things to pass through it. It's very, very, very small openings in there. The higher the screen count, the smaller the holes. So this one is 230, so it's a pretty small holes for the ink to pass through. But say you're going to print some t-shirts, you want a smaller screen count so that the area for the ink to pass through would be much bigger. So like a 110 would allow for a very thick ink deposit onto your t-shirt. Now, the way we get our images onto our screens is we need to coat them with emulsion, which is a light sensitive material, and we take our positive, which is whatever image you design on the old computer, that gets placed onto the screen like so. It is blasted with light. In the areas that the light hits, that stuff dries into the screen. So now, as you can see here, I happen to have one finished. The darker areas is the emulsion, where the light has touched this part, dried it to the screen, and this area was where the image was. Now, when you wash it out, all this washes through, allowing ink to pass through the screen onto your poster. So now you have your screen, you're ready to print. You might be asking, hey, how do I get this image onto a paper? Now, what we're going to do is show you the screen print apparatus that Catalyst use. There's many different ways to do it, but we find this one to be pretty effective. First of all, we went to Home Depot and we got a size of plywood, a piece of plywood like this one here. The size of your screen is going to determine how big your station is going to be. They cut it for free, which is kind of a, people don't always know that, but you say, hey, I need a piece of plywood this big, they cut it down, no extra charge. So now, once you get the size that you would like, we'd like to put this non-stick material on the back so that it's not sliding all over the place. It allows your station to stay in one place. From there, we went online, we found these fun little hinges. It's basically just a little clamp that's going to allow the screen to go in there, hold it into place, and move up and down. So you can take the screen up, take your paper out, put it back in. Another good point is the off contact. You don't want your screen to be directly onto your paper, because then when you screen print, it's going to just smash ink all over the paper. It gets really, really messy. So off contact is what you want. The type of printing we're doing is off contact printing. So now, you drill them into the board, fasten them on there, they're ready to rock. You put your screen into place. Now once you have your screen in, you want to take note of where your image is going to fall down, make crop marks for your posters to go into. This way, the image will be printed on the same spot on each piece of paper, allowing for consistency throughout all of your prints. So now we're going to talk about the inks and the squeegees that are used to actually print your posters. We use water-based ink. It allows for quicker drying, easier to clean up, environmental friendly, all kinds of good stuff. Now, being that we're not constantly printing posters, if you're doing some, then you get sidetracked, we use what is called retarder. This is going to make sure that your ink doesn't dry as fast. Although it takes longer for your posters to dry, it doesn't let the ink dry into your screen, which can be a huge mess. Now, we've already mixed them up, and this stuff is ready to go. Now, this here is our squeegee. This one is quite dirty. They're both quite dirty because we use them a lot. Now, there's different sizes for different projects. They run down to as small as 3 inches up to the size of 30. What you want to do before you start printing is tape up the inside of your screen around the edges. This doesn't allow the ink to pass between the screen and the frame. It makes it very hard to clean out if that happens. Forget your For the paper, you can get it all over the place. You can go on the interweb, find places. There's paper stores, craft stores, art supply stores. All right, so now you can see we already have our crop marks on here because we have used these quite often. So we know where our paper needs to go in there to make a good print. Now that your paper's in there, put your screen down, good off contact, we're ready to go. We're gonna apply some ink and print a poster. What you wanna do is start the ink rolling by just pulling it down a little bit, getting all the ink on this side of the squeegee. Good firm press down so you make sure your screen's touching the paper, and then you just pull it towards you, and that's it. Now, being that you're working with water base, when you're done with your first print, you want to, what is called a flood coat, you want to put all the ink on the other side of the squeegee and very, very lightly just push it back up. Now you can see I've coated the screen with the ink again. This is going to make sure that your ink doesn't dry into the screen and you have to start all over from square one. And now, as you can see, it is as easy as that. So, there it is, Screen Printing 101. My name is Caleb from Catalyst. Be sure to go to our website, check out some of the fun graphics, and get started on your very own screen printing project.